Hi, my name is Alex. Well, this is my first video that I'm gonna be making because I'm bored and I have nothing to do. Sorry. Well, I would like to select a topic to make my first video, which is gonna be how I overcome all those obstacles that I faced in my entire life. Well, first of all, I'm gay, and I think that's important to know because many people think their sexuality is kind of, a secret, especially in the LGBT community, people are really scared to come out to anybody in the world because they're scared that those surrounding people might not accept them for who they are. Well, for me, I really had a very bad coming out day to my parents, but for my friends, they actually accept who I really am and they just don't care. They just don't care. But then, yeah, well, I have known myself who I really am since I was around 8. Around 8, 9. And well, since then I like guys. I do stuff which are more girly stuff, like playing with dolls, playing cooking stuff, and something when usually the baby girls usually play. So I do all those stuff, and I actually grew up with many sisters at my house. So it's like I was a first. No, I'm not actually a first boy in the family, but then all those boys, cousins they're kind of busy. They actually play football and stuff, which I am not really interested. But so many of my sisters actually raised me up, and yeah. Since then, I know myself that I don't like girls and I like boys, and I actually understand girls more than what guys are thinking. I can actually connect with girls, how they're feeling, why they're sad, something like that. But if I have to read a guy, what that guy is feeling and what he's thinking inside his head, I'm like, I have no idea. Okay. So, okay. I've known myself as I'm a gay man since I was 8, and since then I have really come a long way. So first start, I'm from Burma. I study till grade 5, and I moved to Thailand and continue my high school. Then I'm still studying in a university. Okay, so, well, this year I came out to my parents. It was kind of like an accidental coming out day because they actually found out I was talking to guys. So it was like if I didn't come out on that day, it's gonna be like they won't believe me if I say some excuses that, oh, they're just friends. So I'm like, I took the courage, and on that day, it was on May, it was on May the 9th, 2018. I remember the day because that's the day where I got a really big bruises on my body because of my dad. Well, it was a really bad experience coming out, but it was worth it because it feels so light on my chest, like I'm not carrying any more weights anymore. So it's like I don't have to keep on lying to my parents that for being gay stuff, because this year they actually set me up with a girl to go for a date so that I would change from being gay to straight, which is so not impossible. So if a parent asks you to do that, just stand for yourself and be like, this is who I am, and just don't. Sometimes life is cruel, sometimes life is really a dream. So it depends. Some parents will accept you no matter what. Some has hard time accepting their children, but they do accept even though they don't understand it. But for me, I actually came from a really strict family because my parents actually care more about their family friends, because they say that they live in a really high standard area and stuff. So yeah, so they feel ashamed of me being gay so much, but I don't actually care about what they see. But then, yeah, during those times, I had to cry a lot because it was too much for a guy to keep all those stuff in when you can't actually tell anyone about this except for your best friend. Well, my best friend, she actually helped me through a lot, even though we fight in the process. We fight, we love, we fight again, something like that, what friends do, and we annoy each other. Well, actually, she is on the phone right now. She's actually listening to what I'm saying. Yeah. So, yeah. And she actually helped me through a lot. She stood by me when no one understands me. So on the day I came out, my dad actually, what's the word in English? Like it's like a child abuse. Like I got all the bruises on my body. My face was, with fingerprints because he slapped at me a lot, and he used a belt to slap me on my back and my butt. Then he kicked me till I almost faint. So since that day, I was like, I can't stay here anymore. So I just get out of the house. But one thing was like I was doing a part-time job that time, so I have a monthly income, so I can survive on staying outside long enough. But one thing that happened to me during that time was like, even though I was out, I am still working and I have my own money to survive. And the good thing that happened to me was I had, from like my office, they sent me to China to go for a it's like a exhibition show. So I was really happy and honored that I get to go to abroad for the first time alone without family. Well, I wasn't alone, but I have to go with my senior there, but then still I had to travel alone. So that's a really good thing that happened to me. So, yeah. And during those times, my face was like, it was sad. People actually can read it when my face is like sad, because the expression that I am having that time, people notice it. But sometimes they might not mention it because they think that I don't want to talk about it because it's really hard, But then in my office, people actually accept who I really am, so we can talk freely, like what happened. So they too stood by me. But that time, my friends and I weren't talking that much. She was busy with her stuff, and I was busy on my own. So we didn't have a conversation a lot that time. But then a month after I've been outside, my aunt actually messaged me saying that my grandmother who raised me was sick. So I was like, oh no, I should go back because she raised me, and she raised me, but not my parents. So I bought the ticket, I went back home and stayed with her for a few weeks. Then I found out that my dad is coming back. So I told my aunt that I can't stay at home if he's here because I'm scared actually. Because I can't face him anymore. it's like scared and so disappointed because my dad was with me all along when I was growing up. He even bought me dolls, Minnie Mouse, Barbie, and even Barbie movie we sit and watch together when I was young. So it's like I thought my dad would understand me really well, but it turns out the opposite way. He doesn't get me at all. Well, I don't mind about my mom being not getting who I am because we were living different places. She is in Thailand and I was in Burma at that time. So I don't mind if my mom was like, I can't accept you for who you are. But then that day my dad was so angry and he did that to me. So I was like, it was more than angry, but it was more than angry. I was so disappointed that my dad is seeing me like that. I thought he was the only one who understands me, except for my brother. Of course, just leave my brother alone. So he abused me as I wasn't his child. So yeah, that happened. But then I went back. Then I have to face my dad when he came back. So because of my aunt, for first few days he treated me really nicely. He took me to many places. He even took me to his office and saying that, oh right, he has these kinds of friends, but in my heart I know he's gonna say something. I always know when he do these kind of stuff, like taking me to a really good friends of his, when his friends are in this high standard position and be like, you should see this, you should see that, you should get admired from them, look at their family, they're so beautiful, look at their wife, look at their husband, look at their kids and stuff. I was like, alright, yeah, I know, I want it, but I can't. And a few days later, his job sent him to Malaysia. So it was a week trip. So before he goes, he actually wants me to become a monk, which was a really bad idea because I feel like I'm not a really Buddhist religion person. I have no religious at all. I'm like an atheist. But my grandmom wants me to do it, and my dad was like, you should, because you're already 20. It's like a tradition thing for all the Buddhist family. Like their kid, when their kid reaches to age of 20, the adulthood, they have to go for a really high position of a monk, like from a baby monk to the really high position monk. Yeah. So I did that for a week, and on the day I came out, I found I actually had a peaceful days during those times, and my cousin sister from my mom's side came. So I was like, okay, I thought she changed, so I talked to her openly, like how I feel and stuff. But then she somehow went and told my mom what I said, which is really bad. She's always that. She never changed. So on the last day when my dad picked up, he went to a lawyer because they has a problem with something with their friends. So he went to wait for his lawyer. On the car, he said that, why did you say these things? And I'm like, what did I do wrong again? I just came out from Wanghood and you'd be like, you're being this again. You said you're not gonna treat me like that anymore. But he was pissed. He said stuff to me like the same shit, like no matter what you do, you have to be a guy. You can't be a gay. Who is gonna accept in this world that you're gay? Something like that. So I was like, I've known for so long that he will say that, but I'm just waiting for the moment. Yeah, and that happened. So, and I was actually ready to give up my life just to go back and stay at my house. Like I already give up studying. I don't want to study anymore because I'm too stressed on doing everything. But then they actually forced me to go back to study because they said that, well, that's true. You can't do anything without a degree. Yeah. So I came back and do my another semester of study. And a few weeks later, I fought with my mom again. It was a tiny problem. It was nothing at all. She shouldn't go crazy because it was like, okay, she came and picked me up from the university and we went back together. And since we have 2 cars in our apartment, my mom wanted to park the big car to a very good parking spot. So I was like, okay, I thought she was gonna put her small car inside first. But no, we had a really miscommunicating thing that time. So I was like, okay, I saw my brother that time. It was like a first time we actually talked to each other with my brother. So he was sitting there, I talked to him, and I actually totally forgot that my mom was waiting. So when my mom called me, where are you? Why haven't you come yet? So I was like, oh my god, I forgot. So I told my brother to go down because after that, it's like I was sweating and it stinks and I have tutorial class after this. So I hit the shower and my brother went down and helped my mom move the car and stuff, blah blah blah. And my brother said, don't you dare start fighting when you get back to the house. So she didn't listen, of course. She came back, she started yapping, which I was like, I shut up. I didn't say anything because I don't want to fight. It's really tiring fighting her, arguing with her actually. So I grabbed my stuff, all my books, and came to my only safest place in the university. It's like my second home already that time. So yeah, I came to the lab and I stayed there for August, September, October, 3 months. I didn't go back home. I was there 3 months. Then after 3 months, my mom and I started to talking again, and she was like, why are you staying there? You can just stay in the university dormitory or stuff. And we were like, okay, discussing. I went and checked the rooms and stuff there, and she was like, okay, I'll come and see. She came and she talked me through that you should go back home and stay because you're wasting money and stuff, and you have another house which is empty, so that we can move there and you and your brother could stay here near university because my brother is also working around here. And I'm still studying, so we have 2 cars, so we're gonna have one and she'll take one and she'll go there to the another house of ours and stay there. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Then that's good because I don't want to fight. I don't want to look or do anything with them because I'm just scared to go through all the stuff again and again, which is really tiring. From my experience, really bad, really tiring. So it was a rush time. So I was like, okay, you don't have to go right away. You can just take your time, pack up, and start moving things. Then she was like, okay, she planned to visit Burma again because she was on her long-term holiday during the time, and she went and visited for a week. Then she came back and she didn't move. She never does. So it's like, okay, I'll wait for a while. Maybe, she has to clean and stuff. So I'm like, okay. She's still living in that place with my dad right now. So I'm like, she didn't do us her promise. Why would I? Right? Well, I know I'm a bad person, but I'm like that. I don't care. So I started not to tell stuff again because it's like she's doing that. like a prison right there, and she knows it that I don't like being in that center of attention and under pressure that much, because my friends actually talk to her a lot because of that. Well, thanks to her, a lot has changed to one level, but not too much. But yeah, still, there are still lots of improvement between me and my parents. But yeah, a long way to go. I hope it ends after I graduate and stuff, I really hope so. So, what I want to say to people who are actually thinking of coming out, take your time, because if you rush it, you'll regret it. Because if you're someone who can't handle the high pressure or under pressure, you will literally burst. You will be crying and stuff and really messy. So when you come, if you want to come out, you should come out, but take your time, because some parents are acceptable. They will accept their kids no matter what. But some takes time, but slowly. Some doesn't at all. So yeah, that depends. And if you have a really good time, and you want to come out, then go for it, but don't rush it. So yeah, that's what I want to say. And yeah, my friend just told me you should love yourself first. Yeah, that's true. Before you love anyone, love yourself. Love who you are. If you're a gay, if you're a lesbian, if you're bi, if you're transsexual, who cares? Just love yourself. This is who you are. This is who I really am. So if you don't love yourself, and if you start changing for others, that's really bad. You shouldn't do that. So before that, I didn't love myself truly, because I was ashamed, and I'm scared that when my parents know, I would be doomed. But then it changed a lot, and I accepted who I really am, and I love myself, and I became really sassy during those times, and I love that, and it's a really good thing for me. It made me become more and more confident in doing things that I haven't done before, and I tried lots of things, which really makes me happy, because I don't have any regrets on doing what I did. Yeah. So okay, just to summarize everything, I know it's a long story, and it might be boring for some of you guys. So first of all, love yourself, be who you are, and don't be ashamed of your sexuality. Don't, never. And take time, choose the right moment to come out. That's it then. See you later. I hope I'll be making new videos later on. Bye. Cheers.